Hi and welcome back to another Mixed Media Tuesday. Now, a couple of days ago I did post this crazy cat on my Instagram as a reel, and I got lots and lots of comments, so I thought today let's put together a video where I will be using similar crazy animals by All and Create, and I'm going to show you the process on how I put these pages together. So this is going to be my base, and I did use a couple of ties that I have been using previously on my videos as well. You might have seen the previous videos. I like them because they give you tabs and they are great for layering, as well as bookbinding or art journal, junk journal books. So you can just create your pages with tabs. The first one you can rotate and you can have a tab at the bottom. So I find that they are really versatile, and that's why I keep on using them all the time. So anyway, I did use these ties to create my pages, and I'm going to start by adding a little bit of oxide inks. For the first one, I'm going with a couple of pink shades, a lighter and a darker one. And notice that I'm working on pattern paper. All I did was just went through my stash and tried to find some neutral background papers, mainly with text. And this is a great way to start. If you don't know what to do on your backgrounds, just use your own background pattern papers, and you can alter them as I'm doing today. Now, on all my pages I will add a little bit of brown because I'm going for kind of a vintage look and feel, but you can definitely stop and don't add brown if you want to have nice bright pages. Also keep in mind that the pages are going to look more muted if you're using oxides. If you want them to be super vibrant, you can go with sprays from the distress line, the distress stains, instead of the oxides. So for my second page I'm mixing yellows and greens, and I also like to add a contrasting color on top. I will go with a blue one, I believe, here, and of course I will add a little bit of brown at the end. Now I am going to link down below, just like always, all the supplies that I'm using. That includes the dyes, the stamps, the stencils and everything, but I will not link the oxide sprays because I pretty much grabbed everything from my box, and I didn't take a note of exactly what I was using. So here I'm going with purples, a couple of shades, a lighter and a darker one. And again, on top I'm going to add a little bit of blue as well as just a touch of brown. You will find out that when this dries, it's going to look way more muted than what it looks at the moment. So don't expect the colors to be as bright. Look how it looks now. Absolutely love them, and I'm adding a little bit of water. This is going to react with the oxide ink on the pages, and then I'm going to use my paper towel and just blot the excess. The darker the color, the more the effect is going to show. Now, if you follow my videos, there is a process in my mind, so I usually go ahead and add some stamping. Background stamp here with lots and lots of different designs that are great for background. So I'm going to grab the postal circle stamp, and with my archival ink I'm just going to stamp, creating kind of a visual triangle, if you notice. I don't go for the perfect impression. I mainly stay on the edges, if you notice. I don't know why I did that today, but in any case, I just stayed in the edges. I am going to grab another one because I like to create clusters out of my stamps. And if you notice, I am stamping where I stamped with the circle stamp previously. So I just don't go all over the place randomly. I stay on my triangle. Then I'm going to switch to another stamp, and this one has numbers. There is another little stamp with numbers as well, which I'm going to use too. And again, I'm mainly stamping where I have stamped previously on my cluster. And at this stage, I don't know what focal point is going to go where, what stencil I'm going to use, so I'm just having fun layer after layer without paying too much attention on what might be covered later on. I get a lot of questions about that, and for me, even if I cover something, it still lives in my page, even if I don't see it. So I don't get attached with what I do layer after layer. Now I'm going to use my brown distress ink and my black distress ink, and I'm going to ink up the edges a little bit. This is going to mute the colors and turn it more into a vintage looking page. You can definitely omit those steps if you want to keep it as it is because it looks nice and vibrant. It really depends on the style that you are going for. For me, adding a little bit of inking on the edges is a must. I really enjoy it, so I pretty much always do that. Now the next step is to do some stenciling. I have here the rays by All & Create, and I have used them previously. I will use them today as well because they are absolutely gorgeous. I like that you can have your focal point at the center of where the rays start, and it is a great background to use. So I am just going to grab one and I will apply my volume paste over it. Now keep in mind, I'm using volume paste. You can go with modeling paste, with texture paste, you can go with colored paste if you have, whatever works, but keep in mind that since I do have distress oxide sprays underneath, these are going to bleed and react with the paste, and it's not going to be as bright as you see it now. You will see what I mean in a bit when everything dries. So I will repeat the same step for all my 3 pages, and you see that I randomly place the stencil on top of my pages, which is going to kind of dictate where I'm going to set my focal point later on. So as I told you before, I like to place my focal points when I use these stencils at the center of those stencils. And again, you can rotate them, you can place them up, down, whatever. I just try to avoid placing the center at the center of my page because I like my focal points to be kind of offset. I also don't try to transfer the whole design. I just barely touch here and there, which is going to give me a lovely design without overwhelming the page. Absolutely love them, and look how the yellow is bleeding already. It is going to happen on the other 2 pages as well. Now there is a whole collection of those crazy animals by All & Create. This is the cat that I used. You'll find dogs, birds, a cow, which is absolutely adorable, chickens, crabs, even mosquitoes. Just check out their collection. I'm sure there is a stamp set perfect for you. So for the first page, I decided to go with a cow because I cannot resist this crazy animal. I am stamping that with dye ink because I will use my alcohol markers to color the cow. If you're using watercolors, go with permanent ink. It really depends on the coloring medium that you use. I like to stamp it a couple of times to get a good impression, and then if you look at the packaging, you get 2 suggestions of coloring at the front and at the back. So if you don't know what colors to use, just go with the suggestions. And I am just going to grab my alcohol markers and color it. I decided for this cow to stay white and black for the main body. After all, no matter where I choose to stick it on top of the pages, it's going to really stand out because it is going to be black and white on top of colorful backgrounds. And now I'm going to do the fuzzy cutting. I know that you may think that I'm crazy trying to cut out all those details, but look what I do. I make my life easy. These images are to have fun and not to make your life difficult. I'm chopping off the tail and I will chop off the hair as well. Whatever is difficult, I'll just cut it off. And I will show you later on how you can get the detail back on your page. A really important step to disguise any mistakes, just use a black marker and go around the edges. It really makes a difference and people will think that you are perfect in fuzzy cutting, which I'm absolutely not. I don't have too much patience. It looks like I do the perfect fuzzy cutting, but it's far from that, far away from that. So this is where I'm planning to place my cow, and look how adorable that is. Absolutely fun. I had so much fun playing with these images. So I want to add back all the details that I chopped off while I was fuzzy cutting. So I need the tail, I need the hair. So I'm going to stamp directly on top of my paper, and for that I'm going to use a very intense black ink. I'm going with VersaFine Clair. I find these are the most vibrant that you can go with. And I'm going to stamp it a couple of times. Now you will see I don't get a good impression. I do have texture. Remember, I did use volume paste. So I need to really press hard to get those details. But this time I'm really happy. I will place the cow on top to check for the hair and the tail. Everything is there, so I'm good to go. I also want to add some texture, so I do have this cloth here which I'm going to rip off. I like to do that to create ribbons, and they look really distressed. Absolutely love them. Just look into your home. I'm sure you have fabric that you can tear off ribbons out of. And this is going to create kind of a base where I can place the cow on top so that it's not look as if it is floating. I'm just trying to ground my cow somehow. I do have some black and white washi tape which I'm going to use. Again, I'm just creating layers here. Not everything is going to show. I just like to have layers, and that's what I do. And you can see I go dimensional here with foam squares because this is not a page inside a book. I can go as dimensional as I want. Now, from the die that I use to cut out the pages, there are a bunch of leaves, and I'm going to use these dies to cut out leaves. I did use my pattern paper to cut them out, and I'm just going to color them in with a little bit of Distress Oxide. I'm going to blend a couple of colors just to make them look more interesting and not completely flat. And then with glue I'm just going to tuck them here and there. These are going to add an extra touch of color, and I love green with purple, so I think it really complements the whole page. And then you can add any sentiment that you like. You can even write it down. I do happen to have this set of quotes, but keep in mind these are older quotes and they are not available anymore. Just use what you have, or even use your stamps. I thought that this one was hilarious and it really matches my cow, so I just had to use this one. And then I am going to add some finishing touches with a thin black marker, just adding some sketchy lines here and there, and with my white gel pen some highlights. And as always, I'm going to finish it off by adding some white splatters here and there. Remember, these are not going to stay as vibrant as they look at the moment, depending on where they fall, because they are going to blend in with the ink at the back. Now, you can bind those pages in any way that you like. I happen to have this die that I'm going to use on the side or at the top to create notches, and you can use your disc bind system for that. You can use discs or any other way that you choose to bind them. So this is the first page, and I'm going to move on and repeat the same steps to create the other two pages. For the second page, I decided to go with the adorable dog. Again, I'm going to stamp, color and cut out the dog just like I did for the first page, and you will see that by repeating the same steps, I end up having a different page, but always super adorable. So here I'm placing my dog on top of my page, and I did use foam squares at the top of his head at the back, but at the bottom I just went with glue. Again, I'm going to kind of ground him somehow by adding a piece of washi tape. Then on top I'm adding my ribbon, and you can definitely go with sentiments from the stamp set if you like. There are plenty and adorable. I decided to just go with what I have because I want to use them, and I just went ahead with one of the phrases that I had. I always like to use any dies available in my set, so I did cut out the hearts, as you can see, just like I cut out the leaves previously. So I'm just going to add it there, just creating a little bit of a cluster. And I do have leaves from the previous page, so why not, let's use them here as well. And again, I'm going to tuck them behind, and you can definitely recreate these ideas as cards. And by the way, I did my doodling, I did my white splattering on that one. I just don't show all the steps because the video would end up being 1 hour full. So I'm putting together the third and last page, and for this one I went with the birds. I followed the suggestion for coloring on the packaging, and I'm just going to stick it on top of a circle, just creating a little base for cluster there. And I'm not going to lie, out of everything I did today, that was the most difficult part, when I had to fuzzy cut around all those birds. Anyway, it was really fun and I just had to use this image. Now I am again creating my clusters by adding some extra leaves, which again I used the dies from the set to cut them out, and I'm going to finish it off by adding some sentiments. And again, just like always, I did some doodling with my black and white pen, and I'm adding some splatters. So here are all the 3 pages that I made for today. I had so much fun creating them, and I hope you had too as you were watching me putting everything together. Down below in the description you can find the links to everything I used. Just like always, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that you had fun and that you got inspired.